Hi, I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life with Herpes. Today, we're gonna talk about how you can have sex with a herpes outbreak. All right, before you freak out and you're like, what? Sex with herpes? Oh my gosh, you're gonna transmit it. All of this, let me just stop right there and let me start from the beginning and let's talk a little bit about how herpes is transmitted, okay? So it is skin-to-skin transmission, which means like if this hand has herpes and this hand is a whole nother person and does not have herpes, if they come into contact, then chances are there is gonna be transmission. So yes, it is skin-to-skin contact. But it is also only in that location. So another perfect example, if this hand has it and it's just on this finger, right? I can protect this one finger and not get this finger in contact over here. So that's really good. You can work around it. You can, get creative. So let me just tell you a little bit about my personal relationship with my husband and things that have happened. So my husband and I have been together for about 5 years. He does not have herpes. We have a very normal sex life. We do not use condoms. We do not use antivirals. Yet what we do is we do a really good job of communicating with each other. So in the beginning of our relationship, I was on the antivirals. We talked about potentially using condoms. We talked about all that. But really for us, we decided, you know what, let's just communicate. Let's see. So I let him know if I have an outbreak happening, if I think, I feel, maybe, just kind of, I fill him in. So I'm very open with him about that. So I've done a really good job of communicating that, okay? So for our personal relationship, if there is an outbreak, we abstain from sex. But if there's other locations where an outbreak potentially is, then there are ways to work around it. So let me give you some examples. So I get asked a lot about, hey, I have oral herpes, can I have sex? So before I break that down, let's just talk about sex in general. When we think of sex, we think of vaginal sex. We think of, pretty normal, right? Like male, female, vaginal sex. Well, there's a lot of other ways to have sex than just vaginal sex. There's oral sex, there's anal sex, there's other things you can do to get creative. There's masturbation, there's sex toys, there's all of that. So I want to get out of your head that when you hear the word sex, that it just means a basic vaginal sex. So back to my initial question about, okay, so if you have oral herpes and your partner does not have herpes, can you have sex? Yes. So that goes back to the transmission. So if you have oral herpes, it's just in your oral region. So in that particular situation, you would want to refrain or abstain from coming in contact with your mouth with that person. So that means kissing, that means oral sex, that means even other things like sharing a fork or sharing a burrito or whatever. So in that particular situation, you can have sex. You can have vaginal or anal sex. You would not want to perform oral sex. You could receive oral sex, right? If you're the person that's infected, you could receive it, but you would not want to perform. Another example is, let's say there is a man with herpes on his penis. So in that particular situation, he could perform oral sex on his partner. He could not receive oral sex, right? Because that would be putting the partner in contact. But he could perform oral sex on his partner. Depending on where the outbreak is located, they could get creative. There are still ways to finish. There's still ways for him to have pleasure and for her to have pleasure. So there are ways around it. There's sex toys, there's masturbation, there's other things. So what I mean by you can have sex with herpes is you need to talk to your partner. You need to communicate this with him or her. And you can still be intimate. You can share that intimacy with each other without saying, oh, we just can't have sex. Like I'm off limits. No, there's so many other ways to share that personal time with your partner and explore. Hey, you never know. You might find something out that's new and exciting that you might really enjoy. So just use this as an opportunity to think positively of like, oh, I get to explore this, or we get to do something different, or it's my turn just to pleasure you, or it's your turn just to pleasure me, and I'll accept that, right? So it's things that you can work around. Go have fun, enjoy, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.